Yo guys, Ollie Tat here, and today we are back with a bit of a different video. For New Year's last year, start of January 2024, I set myself New Year's resolution. I want to expand my music horizons. And that I did. I set myself the goal of listening to 250 albums, which I was about 20 in by June, and I thought that's quite an unrealistic target. I'll narrow it down to 100. So yeah, today I'm going to be ranking all 75 albums I listened to last year, and yeah, sit yourself down because this might be a long one, I don't know. And yeah, I've just realised that's my right monitor, which I've got called in Streamlabs left monitor. I'm actually going to grab myself a drink now. But yeah, ranking every album I listened to in 2024. Now this screen should show you how I'm going to go about showing you how I'm presenting it. I bloody love this nondescript orange flavoured fizzy drink. I've got 3 bottles, 2, but yeah, I've got about 6 litres of it in the fridge. But yeah, so I'll show you my ranking out of 75, the album name, artist who made it, was it released this year, so I'll put 2024 release if it was, what date I listened to it on, and what number that was in chronological order. So the first album I'll listen to will have 1 next to the listen date, the 47th will have 47 next to it, and so on. And then my favourite song. As we go on, 25th and upwards will have my top 3 favourite songs, top 10 will have my top 5, and then the top 3 I will rank every song in the album, and I'll have the album cover on the right hand side. Now for the next one I won't have the album cover because I don't really want to talk about this album, but I listened to it this year. It was actually the first album I listened to. It was, yeah, Mammalian Sighing Reflex by that one Minecraft YouTuber who turned out to be a bad guy. I know that doesn't narrow it down, but yeah, this is the first album of the year I listened to on the 12th of January. And yeah, you can see all you need to know there. But the worst proper album of the year I listened to might be a surprise. It's Eternal Take 2 by Lil Uzi Vert. It just wasn't good. It just really wasn't good. So yeah, you see example there. Lil Uzi Vert, 2024 release. I listened to it on the 1st of November, so it was the 64th album I listened to this year. My favourite song, actually Perky Sex. I don't see many people talk about it. Obviously most people have Chill Bay as their favourite song from this, and I feel like those two are the only ones worth returning to. Chill Bay is also very good. Yeah, I actually quite like Perky Sex, so I don't see many people talking about it, but I do like it. Yeah, I think it was that the 3rd, 4th and 5th song of the album, that 3-song run was probably one of the worst I've heard all year. It was not a good album from Uzi. And I mean, I think Pink Tape was good. It did have some lows, for example, The End featuring Baby Mel. I showed my dad that song the other day and he was just as confused as I was listening to it. To be fair, most of the Pink Tape apart from that's fine. I don't mind his cover of Chop Suey. Actually, it doesn't hold a candle to the original one, but it's listenable. But not much on this album was. But hopefully, whatever he's releasing next, I think it's Love Is Rage 3, which I'm looking forward to. Again, people say this was just to get out of an album contract. He just rushed it out because obviously there was, I think, less than a week of promo for this album, and I think he released it, the week after Tyler the Creator dropped Chromacopia. So he wasn't really going for number 1 on the Billboard there, but yeah. And also, it was I remember the discourse about him being on Matrix when he dropped the album, because obviously there was the discourse about Kanye on Matrix at the time. But I got my list of albums up there. Yeah. Speaking of Kanye, Vultures 2 in at 73 by Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign. Listened to it on the 3rd of August, 37th album of the year. Favourite song is Lifestyle. Again, I don't see people talking about that. Very good song, especially after the tweaks. I think the only song that improved after the album patch note. Because it was just mixed horribly, wasn't it? And then made worse by the use of AI. And I'm gonna get up the track list for some of these. you know, as we go through them. Some songs, I'd say about half of the album is listenable. Slide is good, Time Moving Slow is good, Field Trip is good. Fried, it's good, but it's like almost cringe, if you will. Isabella, it's 8 seconds long. Promotion, very good. 5:30 has the potential to be one of the best Kanye songs of all time, but he went from having the first half of the song being good and then the second half of the song just mumbling and being incoherent to making the whole song AI, and it's just not great. It could be a generational Kanye song, but no. Dead is okay. That's the one with a Dirk on it, isn't it? The only thing I don't get about that song is when, like, I think it happens twice in the song where a line gets repeated like 5 times. It's just like, why? Forever Rolling's okay, I won't come back to it, I'm not the biggest fan of Lil Baby. Bomb is, you know, it's fine for what it is, you know Miles that I did feature as well. River's very good. Forever, I don't remember. Husband, obviously, second best song on the album. Lifestyle, my favourite. Sky City is my second favourite song on the album. It's just a shame about the AI Kanye verse again. And then My Soul, I don't really remember, so yeah, that's my review of Vultures 2. I used to actually prefer Vultures 2 has the bigger hits, so like I said, 5:30, Lifestyle, Sky City. But the mixing and the use of AI just makes it absolutely not tolerable at all. Yeah, 73rd, Vultures 2. 72nd place, an interesting one. The Death of Slim Shady, Coup de Grace, or Coup de Grace. I think this is the only album I've actually left a proper review for on Music Board. And I'll try and remember what I said on there and say it now. It was fine. I appreciate the concept. It was a very good concept. I do like concept albums. And obviously, you know, as you're listening through, he's telling a story. Some banger songs on there, like obviously Fuel, I've said in my favourite, which is a bit basic, but I also do like Brand New Dance. And the 2 emotional songs at the end, you got Somebody Save Me and Temporary. But yes, again, at the end of the day, it's 2024 Eminem trying to rap out 2024 topics over 2024 beats while still trying to be 2004 Eminem. And it just doesn't really work for me. I mean, some Eminem fans might really like this album, and you know, power to you, but it just didn't really hit for me. Maybe because I'm not really listening to a lot of Eminem's work. I mean, I can probably name like 10 songs by him, you know. But yeah, Death of Slim Shady. 71, Meant for More by Miller. One of 2 artists I discovered on TikTok this year. And the first one was Miller, because I heard the song Growing Pains on a TikTok he made, and I thought, oh, this is really good. And then I went searching for the song, and it didn't exist yet, because the album was coming out. And then months later, he returned on my For You page saying that album was out. And I gave it a listen, and it was fine, you know. I only really come back to Growing Pains, and that's not too often, but it's still a good song, you know. I think it was only like, it was under 10 songs long, I think maybe 7 or 8, but it was good, but it's just, it wasn't anything special for me, but, you know, doesn't mean it's bad, you know. I think he's a fairly smaller artist. I'll try and find him here on Spotify. And 67,000 monthly listeners, to be fair, is not bad, but it's actually released another album since then. 14 songs, I might give that a listen to. When was that released? October. I missed it a bit, haven't I? But yeah, it just wasn't anything memorable for me. In 70th place, an album that I wanted to like going into it, but by the end, it wasn't really memorable. How Do You Sleep at Night With You by Teezo Touchdown. Again, I hadn't really heard much of Teezo Touchdown before this. In times I had saw him, I didn't understand the gimmick, if you will, with like the nails in his hair and stuff. I think before this I'd heard his feature on the Lyrical Lemonade album, which is coming up in this video. His feature on Utopia on Modern Jam and Third Coast. Those are the 3 teaser touching on bits I'd heard going into the song. I'd actually heard more by them for some reason. Not for some reason, for his feature on Lil Yachty's. I can't even remember what that album's called, but it's like psychedelic one. Is that All Starts Here or something? Let's Start Here. Yeah. I actually didn't know he was on The Ride, but yeah, just the album wasn't anything special. Hence why I put Third Coast as my favourite song, even though I'd already heard it before going into the album. He's a better feature artist than I think he's a main artist. But I do like Tears of a Touchdown. It's just this album wasn't really anything memorable. And I think the only albums I would consider bad this year is these two, because they were badly produced and bad songs. Onwards, until obviously the better albums, it's just nothing memorable, I would say. So yeah, Tears of a Touchdown, How Do You Sleep at Night With You, the deluxe, 70th. 69th place, Lifestyle by Yeat. I listened to 2 Yeat albums this year, and again, this one by far less memorable. Album cover's cool. It just sounded like Yeat. That's quite literally it. It just sounded like Yeat. I have a few favourite songs from the other album. I say now 2093. That's coming up in this video. I might also listen to that. I have a few favourite songs from that, but most of the songs on this album and some from 2093 do sound the same. They just have that Yeat sound to it. So yeah, 69th, Yeat, Lifestyle, nothing memorable. Sorry, I don't know why my nose went like that. 68th place, an album I've already mentioned, All Is Yellow. You can see the second album I listened to this year, and it was fine. You know, there's some good songs on there. I like the one with I like Doomsday Part 1 with Juice and Cordae, Doomsday Part 2 with Eminem, the opener, Ski Mask, Sheck West and G.I.D, the Leroy song. You know, there's quite a few decent hits on there. Some of them, I think the second half of the album was far less memorable. I mean, just half the album isn't really memorable. Guitar in My Room sort of isn't really memorable. Special with Lala Swaley and Amina, With the Fish. Fallout as well. That's probably my second favourite song. That one's really good. I do like that. Equilibrium, Babytron and G Herbo. Hummingbird. Stop Giving Me Advice is good as well. And like the one with Lil Tracy, Corbin and Black Ray, where it's like, where are you? And it's just like, no. Music video for that as well was a bit. But I think there's a new Lyrical Lemonade album coming out, and which I'm looking forward to see what happens there. But I'm a fan of albums that like include loads of artists, because the main artist isn't really an artist. There was like Internet Money did one as well that I'm yet to listen to, but I'll probably listen to every song on it already. But yeah, All Is Yellow, 68. A few good songs, nothing special though. 67th place we have Die For My Bitch by Baby Keem. Again, I will say 2 songs I can tell you on this album. My Ex, I think, is the one with the guitar. And favourite song, Honest, very good Baby Keem song. Could not name you. Wait, there's Apologise. Yeah, Apologise, I remember that. But apart from them 3, cannot name you another song on this album. Again, yeah, it's just fine, really, and a few banger songs. Nothing memorable. 66. The Boy Himself, that I'm going to see 2 months time, 3 months time. Cochise, The Inspection. Again, loads of banger songs on this. For example, Halo, probably my favourite Cochise song. or Google Me off his newest project. Again, just not many of the songs are too memorable. That's again, and you'll find with artists in this list, I'll probably put two of their albums next to each other because they're just so similar and I can't really distinguish them. Hence why 65's newest one, Why Always Me, is just after that. If it's on Google Me, probably not too big enough of a Cochise fan to be going to his gig. But I want to go to more gigs and Cochise was playing, so I thought, why not get myself along? I think it'd be quite good. It's the same place I went to see Ski Mask back in September, so I know my way around, you know, it'd be good, but there you go. Cochise in 66th and 65th. Next one, the only album which I didn't really listen to, which I don't know if that makes sense, but it's Food 20th Anniversary Edition Vinyl by MF Doom. Yeah, one of my mates got this on vinyl and played it in the living room while we were making tea, so I was just like hearing it, not really listening. It's the only one that I didn't listen to on Spotify and like dedicate my attention to. Hence why it's probably so low, you know, it is one of the most iconic rap albums of all time, you know. And also hence why my favourite song is like the only MF Doom song that non-fans of his can name. Probably, but yeah, good album, isn't it really? But I just didn't really pay that much attention to it, hence why it's this low. Next up, one of 3 future albums on this list. You'll probably guess which one it is. It's Mixtape Pluto. I remember this and Plan B by Lil Tecca dropped on the same day, and I listened to them both on the same day. This one, favourite song, Lil Demon, that's quite good. South of France is decent, obviously the remix of Travis Scott as well. And Plutoski, obviously iconic, which I actually do like. I do like the mumbling bit, which is probably says more about me than it does Future, but yeah, it's a good album with a few good songs. Not really memorable. Again, I feel like that's most of these albums that we're getting onto. Next one. So, quick story. I listened to every Kanye album this year because my mate put me on. One of my best mates put me on when Vultures 1 dropped, and then throughout the year I listened to every Kanye album. So this next one I believe is the last Kanye album I listened to, depending on whether I listened to this before or after Vultures 2 dropped. When did I listen to Vultures 2? No, this dropped. I listened to this after Vultures 2 dropped. So this is the last Kanye album I listened to. So also, in my opinion, the worst apart from Vultures 2. It's Watch the Throne, actually. I don't know, yet it just wasn't anything special. You see a few iconic songs such as you know the one. I'm not gonna even like Fellas in Paris. You know, I'm not gonna make a joke about that. You know the one. And also like Otis. That's a very good song. If you see my one favourite one I put there, New Day. I really like that one. You know, there is a few good ones on there. Again, most of it is memorable. You got there's one where they sampled like an MLG song or something. That's probably not the right way to say that, but yeah, it's just the least memorable. When you can say an album like this is one of the worst Kanye ones, that's how you know you're a good artist. Because it's still very well produced. I know it has Jay-Z on it as well, who is allegedly a Diddy blood, but you know. I can't believe I've just said that. I'm really hoping you guys have seen the meme to get that. Because there was this one white girl on Twitter who posted the only mumble rap song I like is They Don't Like Us because Kendrick exposes Drake for being a Diddy blood. And that's just one of the whitest things ever said. So I was referencing that I'm not just an awful person. Anyway, we'll move on. 61st, a man who I've already mentioned that I went to see in concert. 11th Dimension by Ski Mask the Slum God. Very good album when I listened to it. Over time, I don't really listen to a song off this anymore. So you see their favourite song, What Do You Mean? The one with Juice WRLD was very good. Again, a few good tracks on there. But it just doesn't live up to like Stokely, does it? Stokely's just an iconic album of the SoundCloud era, and it just doesn't quite live up to it. It's probably on par with Sin City, the mixtape, because that was just a mixtape, but that had some good songs. Obviously, this is a fully fledged album, but yeah, not bad by any means. Just most of the songs forgettable. And to mention by Ski Master Slump God. In 60th place, we have The Great Chaos by Ken Carson. Didn't like it when I first listened to it, but over time it has actually grown on me. That's only some of the songs, such as obviously my favourite, Succubus, obviously Fighting My Demons, probably I think the most popular on the album, Jennifer's Body, Singapore, Nightcore, the one with, is it Like This, that has Uzi and Destroy Lonely on it? But yeah, grown on me over time, but again that's only like a third of the album, so 60th place, The Great Chaos. Now next up, 3 albums, again like I said earlier, some albums by artists are just so similar that I can't really distinguish them. 3 albums by the second artist I discovered on TikTok this year, and that is Critter. Yeah, I discovered her music this year, and I'm actually quite a big fan of it. Obviously I've got here her lowest ranked album in my opinion, Velveteen Rabbit. Has probably one of my top 3 Critter songs on, Life Goes On. But I don't listen to another song off this album, so in most Critter albums are like maximum 7 songs long, so you know it's not like 30 songs long and I'm only listening to one of them. But yeah, I remember the first Critter song I heard on TikTok was Motivational Geeker, and then I heard that a few times on my For You page and I was like, you know what, I'll actually check out the music, and I did that and I don't regret it, to be honest. So yeah, next one of hers, Foolhardy. And yeah, it's good. I think this one has like 4 or 5 songs on it, so most of these aren't really albums, but you know, I count it. I needed to get my numbers up and I only got 75, so my favourite song on that one, Baby Doll. Next up, Space for Soul. We received the one album with Motivational Geeker on. You see I listen, I can't speak. Listen to all of them on the 1st of August because they're so short I could do them all in one sitting. Yeah, Space of Snow in 57th place. And another instance of albums being so similar that I can't just separate them. We have Brat, but it's completely different, but it's also still Brat. And then you see You'll Guess in 55th place, Brat. I think I do prefer the original album slightly. Yeah, this to be fair, I think the remix album might have more songs that I come back to. Yeah. On the remix album, I only really come back to the Talk Talk and the one with Billie Eilish. Then on the original album, the only one I really come back to is Sympathy Is a Knife. I sort of come back to Von Dutch every now and then. When I see the starting in 1, 360 and 365 aren't bad. But yeah, I actually thought it was a decent album, you know. Did not dislike it. So yeah, there's Brat and Brat remix album. Next up, Scrapyard by Quadeca. People might question why I have it this low. But again, to be honest, I just listened to it once in the middle of June and then just like didn't really return. Every time I get a song from it recommended to me though, it's always very good. It's just I don't remember it. I should probably do re-listens to some of these albums. Pardon me, sorry. But yeah, from what I can remember, it is a very good artist. It is a very good artist, but it is a very good album. It's just I don't remember some of it, most of it even. Yeah, favourite song, You Don't Know Me Like That. Quadeca, Scrapyard. Next up, hang on, let's get my list up. Next up, 2 more Critter albums. We have A Wolf to a Spider. Yeah, this one a little higher up. There's a couple of songs I come back to, such as Pink Up and is it Monday, one of them? Hang on. I can't type. Anywhere Else and Hand Me Downs are good as well. Monday and Pink Up. So there's 4 songs out of 7 that I come back to there, so that's not too bad. And then 52nd, Poisoner, My Voice, top 2 Critter songs, I think. I think Pink Up and the Pink Up acoustic remix just miss out. I think I know what my favourite one is. Do I? I actually don't know what my favourite Critter song is, but My Voice is definitely up there. Yeah, I think the Pink Up acoustic one's on this album, actually. I never actually looked into the album cover. I don't know there's that much going on here. There's an eye, there's what looks like a grenade, 3 eyes and a toxic hazard symbol, a castle, the moon, chrome, an eye with a scanner, an airport, TV. I don't know what's going on here, but yeah. 52nd, Poisoner by Critter. 51st, Jeffrey by Young Thug. I went into this album expecting good things and I wasn't disappointed. It was quite a good album. Wyclef Jean, very good song. I do also like Harambe as well, because I recognised the name Harambe from like Lissati on TikTok, and I couldn't remember whether people said it was the best or worst song. I think that people said it was the worst song on TikTok, but I didn't mind it, it was still good. Again, I think it was a shorter album again, and it wasn't bad, it's just I don't remember half of it, that's the only thing with these albums. And 50th place, I think I'm going to take a break after this, because it's 75, split it into 3 segments. 50th place is the first of all 4 albums by the same artist. I just couldn't separate the discography. See, I could rank them, but I couldn't separate them. This band, is interesting because if you remember who was the worst ranked album, not Vultures 2, the one before that. No, not Eternal the Take 2, before that. If you remember who that was, when he wasn't cancelled and he was in a band, I went to see that band play Newcastle, and Swim School opened for him. And I remember, I was towards the back of the queue, so I only got to see like 2 songs from Swim School, and I thought, hang on, these are quite good. And I've had Delirious by Swim School in my songs for ages. And then I got a notification on my, it came up on Twitter that they were playing in a record shop near me, and I thought, oh, that's sick, I'm going to go down and meet them. And it was early access ticket, and I could either buy a vinyl or a CD with it. So I do have Seeing It Now by Swim School, signed CD. I went with the CD over the vinyl because it was cheaper. I just wanted the ticket, to be honest. I went and saw them in the record shop and they were very good. And in this one, Volume 1, the lowest ranked of the albums. And these albums only have, I think, max 6 songs on them. This one, to be honest, I don't remember a single song from it. But it's still very good music. Swim School do make very good music. So, yeah. I might as well get through all the Swim School ones and then I'll take a break. Next up, we have Duality, which has probably one of my top 3 Swim School songs on, Delirious. It was the first song I heard by them when I went to see He Who Shall Not Be Named band play. I actually mentioned it to them when I saw them in the record shop, because obviously they were doing signings after. And I got a picture with them and I was talking to them, and I said, I was wearing a Borough shirt, and I think it was him actually. Went, oh, nice Borough shirt, tell Michael Carrick I said hi. And I was like, what a boy. But yeah, I mentioned it to them and they're like, oh yeah, alright. I don't think they clocked it what I was on to. And then I got a photo with them, picked up my CD and picked it up the wrong way. The disc fell out onto the floor in the middle of the record shop, and I just let out, fuck. And then I quickly grabbed the CD and walked out to avoid embarrassment. Don't think I looked at anyone in that record shop again before I walked out. Oh yeah. Duality by Swim School, yeah, 49. 48th is Making Sense of It All, which has probably a top 5 Swim School song for me, Let Me Inside Your Head. That was the only other one I remember from Newcastle. I think I went in halfway through that song, and then I think I closed with Delirious. Yeah, I listened to all four of their albums before going to see them in the record shop, so I didn't go to see them without having listened to a single bit of the music, apart from one song. Then 47th, the highest rated one, is the one I've just shown you, Seeing It Now, the one with the most songs I listen to. It's very good music, so yeah, I do recommend checking them out, as well as Critter and Miller, who say showing love to the smaller artists I mentioned. To be fair, Miller had 67k, I did not realise he had that many. I think Critter might have over 100k, 83k, so Swim School 64k, so they're all around 60 to 80k, but I do recommend going and listening to them because they do make very good music. Yeah, 47th place, Swim School, Seeing It Now, and I'll take a break now. Alright guys, I'm back for part 2, and next up is an album that I believe to be a bit overrated. It's the Kanye album. I bet you can't guess which one it is. Think in your mind, give you a couple of seconds. Which Kanye album do I think is quite overrated? So this would be his third worst album, in my opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Yeezus. I wasn't too big on it when I first listened to it. It has grown on me, don't worry. I'd listened to Bound 2 before listening to the album. Obviously, I think most people have heard Bound 2 that are into rap. Yeah, there's also which one is it? On Sight, obviously, as well. I knew of Guilt Trip's my favourite. I like Blood on the Leaves. I like Hold My Liquor. You know, it has grown on me, but I do still think it is a little bit overrated. I think it might be one of the most iconic album covers, though. Obviously inspired Yandhi as well, which got separated into loads of different albums. But yeah, 46th place, Yeezus. 45th, we have Heaven or Hell by Don Toliver. It was good. Yeah. To be honest, apart from the two iconic Don Toliver ones, which are After Party and No Idea, don't really remember much of it. As I said, I put Wasted as my favourite. Yeah, it was fine, really. 45th, Heaven or Hell, Don Toliver. Number 44. This might be my most controversial take. I don't think you're prepared for what's next. But I listened to it. I didn't pay much attention when listening to it, which is probably why I ranked it so low. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate that it's probably one of the best hip-hop albums of all time. But I just wasn't a fan when I first listened to it. To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar, I wasn't the biggest fan. I'm still yet to listen to Good Kid, Mad City, so don't worry, that's not on this list. I still need to listen to that. But yeah, I almost fell asleep halfway through listening to this, to be honest. And that's bad. I do appreciate that it probably is one of the best hip hop albums of all time. But I think I'd just move on, stop trying to explain myself. 43, The Carter 5 by Lil Wayne. Yeah. Listened to 2 Lil Wayne albums this year. This is the first of 2. Yeah. Maybe 3. No, I think it's 2. Yeah. Liked quite a few songs off it. Yeah, Lil Wayne, The Carter 5. Yeah. There we go. Up next, 42. Love Is Rage by Lil Uzi Vert. Sorry about the Uzi album covers. If you've still got the Eternal Take 2 promotion material and all of them on Spotify, so I've had to rip these off Google in the far worse quality. But yeah, three classic albums in a row. I don't know about comparing Love Is Rage to Pimp a Butterfly, but yeah, I would say I'm a massive Uzi fan. Probably top 5 favourite for me. Yeah. Let's see, apart from Eternal Take 2, probably his worst album, I'd say. But it's still very good. See, it's the beginnings of Uzi. Songs such as Paradise are insane. You got 7am, you got Tops, and very good ones in there. So put Paradise in my favourite. 42nd place, Love Is Rage by Lil Uzi Vert. Next up, at number 41. Pardon me. Another very good album that I just don't really find myself coming back to. Sorry, I just had Fanta for some reason. Fanta just absolutely messes with my throat. 41. Melt My Eyes See Your Future by Denzel Curry. It was very good when I listened to it. Again, there's not much I can say about most of these albums. They were just very good. But I only come back to a few songs. The rest of them I don't really remember. You know, to be fair, I think I'd heard Walking before I listened to this album. Still my favourite song from there. Yeah, very good album. 41, Denzel Curry. Up at 40, an album that came out this year. That I actually think is from a very underrated artist. I did like this album. It's The Crossroads by Cordae. You see, Saturday Morning was one of the pre-album singles. Really like that one. A lot of good songs on this album. There was the bonus track, Two Friends, I think, with Anderson .Paak. Two Lil Wayne songs, the Kanye sample. You know, some very good songs on here. Very underrated artist. I think you should check it out. It's not as if he's like underground like artists we're talking about before. He's literally like, he was on the Lyrical Lemonade album, you know. But yeah, very good album. I think you should check it out if you haven't. 40, The Crossroads by Cordae. 39. One of the most controversial albums of all time. Whole Lot of Red by Playboi Carti have got in 39. Actually a wide variety of songs on this album, I felt. But again, some of them are just fine, some of them are just noise, really. A lot of decent ones, though. Favourite one's probably I Love You, I Hate You. I do like Over, I do like Place. And obviously you got the big ones, you know, like Sky, you've got Meh on this album, no it won't be. Yeah, a lot of good songs on here. Playboi Carti. Number 38. Probably my most anticipated album of this year. 38. The Party Never Ends by Juice WRLD. Yeah, it got pushed. Even the deluxe has been pushed back. It was meant to come out 3 days ago. 4. It didn't. But yeah. The album was fine. It was good. It was good. Yeah, we see people saying, "Oh, you could have put so many better leaks and stuff on there." I think I talked about this quite a lot in my reaction to the album, which is up on my Patreon. I think it's like £1 a month. You know, it's as cheap as I can make it. I'm going to be uploading more on there. I'm going to do like reactions to TV shows and albums and stuff. The only thing that's something there currently is a reaction to this album and my reaction to the Modern Warfare 3 campaign. Because I didn't want to buy it, just to play the campaign. But yeah, still think a very good album. I do find myself coming back to some songs a lot, such as Party by Myself, probably one of my favourite songs of the last few months. Spend It's quite good as well. With KTM Drip I'd heard before the album, I do like that. Celebrate with Offset's very good. You know, a lot of good songs on here. None of the songs on the album are by any means bad. Like, it's still a good Juice WRLD album. Obviously, yeah, there could have been far more better leaks on there, which is why they're doing a deluxe probably within the next 5 years. But yeah, you know, it's still very good. And to be honest, I think the Fortnite concert helped the perception of the album, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I probably spoke about it more in depth on my reaction to the album, so go check that on Patreon. I didn't actually put what number this is. This was the 74th album I listened to this year, so the penultimate one, the second last one. Next up, 37. The album I listened to on the same day as Mixtape Pluto. I think I already mentioned this. Plan A by Lil Tecca. Lil Tecca's very good, isn't he? I'd put him up there in the conversation for the rapper with the least haters, because he's just good. He doesn't get involved in any controversy. He just makes good music and goes about his day, doesn't he? And probably the most controversial thing he's ever done is like lying that Genius interview, like going to France and like having holes and stuff. You know, it's like, but he does make very good music. And this album obviously was no exception. Really like his previous music, and this, I think you can sort of tell when you listen to it, Tecca sort of coming into his own. Yeah, Plan A by Lil Tecca, number 37. I think this is where, yeah, I think since the last one, or maybe Whole Lot of Red, this is where the albums are getting good. Like, they've been good before that, but yeah, because next up is the second of the two Yeat albums, 2093. I listened to this while walking up and down sort of like the side of a river at night, and it sort of just hit for me. I don't know why, but the whole atmosphere and vibe of the album actually is very good, and Yeat does it very well. It's actually a very well put together album. Loads of bangers on there. Favourite one being I Love. I don't see people talking about that, but to be fair, I don't really get involved in much Yeat discourse. But yeah, I actually, if you don't like Yeat or you haven't really heard Yeat before, I actually would recommend checking out this album. Quite long, but yeah, I actually think it's quite a good album. So yeah, 36, 2093. 35th is... Have I had him yet? Have I had him on this list yet? I haven't. This is my least favourite Tyler the Creator album. I've listened to all 4 of them this year. And not all 4 of them, all 4 of his modern ones. So in order, it's Flower Boy, Igor, Call Me If You Get Lost, and Chromacopia. Out of them 4, which one do you think is my least favourite? Because I'm going to reveal it in 3, 2, 1. It's Igor. I don't really find myself coming back to many songs on this album apart from Earthquake. Occasionally Are We Still Friends, occasionally Puppet. And I can't even remember what the intro was called, the bit with Uzi. I like that. But yeah, probably my least favourite Tyler the Creator album, to be honest. And it's still in 35. That just shows how good of an artist he is. Yeah, I've not listened to his original trilogy of Golf Bastard and... What was the other one? Golf Bastard and... Cherry Bomb? Cherry Bomb, right? No, not Golf Goblin, sorry. Goblin, Bastard and Cherry Bomb. I've not listened to them, but I watched a video essay about them and like the whole story that they're telling with them. I forgot what it was called, but the doctor, the therapist and stuff, and like the people in the camp. That's on a mad, like Camp Flognar or whatever it is. I'm not really too versed in my Tyler the Creator ball, but I am going to see him as well. So that'll be fun. £60 for a ticket with, I think, obstructive viewing, but you know, we move. Next up is sort of just the deluxe of an album, probably my favourite album of last year. It's The First Time Deluxe by The Kid Laroi. It's only this low because I'm only ranking the deluxe. If it was the full album, genuinely it would be top 10. I think I'm claiming The Kid Laroi as the one artist where I've been like, yeah, I've been there from the start. Because I can't remember when I started listening to him, but I listened to Fuck Love 2 when that first came out, like the day it came out, so you know, I have been listening to him for a while. I can't even remember how I discovered him. Yeah, I've been listening to him for a while, and the first time was like, yeah, I'm a fan. This guy's going right to the top. So, you know, it's not as if it like comes straight up from... Fair, he has come straight up from the bottom, because I watched the documentary about him, and if she was like outside of like hotels in Sydney, like trying to meet rappers and doing his own thing, you know, and like, you know, he sort of got taken on by Juice WRLD and everything, and sort of, I don't want to say it got fast tracked to the top, but sort of, like, he's not an industry plant by any means, but yeah, anyway, I think his music is genuinely so good. Again, if you haven't listened to this album, I do recommend going and checking it out. Listen to the regular version, because the deluxe puts the deluxe songs at the start, so, but yeah, phenomenal artist. I can't wait for, I can't remember what his new album's going to be called, but yeah, he's getting a new album soon. It's about time. Yeah, Pixar's favourite song, but you know, you got Nights Like This Part 2, you got Hatred, you got Girls, you know, it's a very good album, pardon me. And yeah, First Time Deluxe. Next up, surprisingly this high, which I didn't think it would be, it's Vultures 1. So you can see I've had to censor a bit there, but genuinely, I think Vultures 1 gets a bad rep because of Vultures 2. Vultures 1, it's produced, I was going to say it's produced well, it's produced full stop, which makes it better than Vultures 2. But yeah, it's far more consistent as well, I think. Like, you know, you've got Carnival on there, you've got Fuck Some, I think they're right next to each other in the album. The only song on this album I don't like, I think, is... In fact, I don't mind it, it's the one with Chris Brown. I'm also not the biggest fan of Problematic, but I really like King as a song. I think that might be top 3 for me. Obviously, Burn. Obviously, Carnival got TikTokers Partified, but it's still a great song. Obviously, I'd put their Fuck Some's probably my favourite on the album, but I'd say Burn and King are top 3, not Bernard King. Yeah, I think it's underrated, to be honest. It gets a bad rep because of Vultures too. But yeah, moving on from that, we have Lil Uzi Vert versus The World. For some reason, the last few months, I've been on a proper Scott Pilgrim binge. I got into it a couple of months ago, and it's just been one of my. It's sort of been like, I've been like quite not enthused. How would I put this? But yeah, I bought the movie on Amazon. I've watched the series. Actually, did it in the other order. I watched the series before the movie because it was obviously on Netflix, which I already had. But yeah, I've watched like deep dives on YouTube. I've listened to the music. And this album, which I didn't realise was inspired by that. For some reason, it didn't click in my mind. Lil Uzi Vert versus The World, Scott Pilgrim versus The World. And for like the last month or so, Scott Ramona has been my favourite song, full stop. I don't know why, it just hits. It just hits. The first bit where it comes in, I just genuinely, I love it. Like, I don't know why, but I'm so infatuated with this album and Scott Pilgrim as a franchise as a whole, like, recently. It might sort of affected why it got this high of a ranking above, like, Ego or, like, To Pimp a Butterfly, but I don't know, I really like this album. And Uzi and Scott Pilgrim and this song in particular. Yeah, 32nd, Lil Uzi Vert versus The World. 31, you have the other Lil Wayne album, The Carter 3. I just found I like more songs on this album. It's more of a classic as well. I do really like Lil Wayne. I think he's underrated. He'd probably be top 5 rappers for me. Maybe top 3, but I'm not sure. But I think this is the most iconic of his discography, right? Favourite song, Let the Beat Build. I saw like in the last week or so I've seen people talking about that. Because it was a YouTube short saying like, songs where rappers did clever things with the beat. Especially Let the Beat Build. It's just such a fun song. And there's like Action I do like as a song as well. Lots of songs on there that I just really like, and I think Lil Wayne's, I don't know how you can be underrated in the GOAT conversation, but yeah, not more people need to get on Wayne. Top 30 now. I have So Much Fun by Young Thug, the deluxe. It was so much fun to listen to this album. Hey! No, seriously, yeah, I did really enjoy this album. A lot of hits. What's the Move with Uzi, probably my favourite song. It was just far better than I expected going into it, to be honest, and I really enjoyed it, so not much else to say. 30, So Much Fun, deluxe, Young Thug. 29, Days Before Rodeo, Travis Scott. I put the 2024 release kind of because he put it on streaming platforms this year. It was released in 2014, so Travis Scott even produced on Yeezus. I did not realise he'd been around for that long. He's been around for like 2 years more than Kendrick Lamar, which is mental. But yeah, a lot of hits on this album that I do like. Can I say something controversial about this album? Drugs You Should Try It isn't top 3. Genuinely might even be top 5. I think it's an overrated song. I don't get hype. It's Sloppy Toppy I like. Quintana Part 2, Mamacita, Zombies. A lot of hits on that album that I like. Drugs You Should Try It isn't one of them, which might be controversial, I don't know. 28. One of the most iconic albums of all time, an album that is older than me. The College Dropout, Kanye West. It's a classic album, isn't it? I don't know what else to say, really. Really good songs. Jesus Walks, All Falls Down, Through the Wire, We Don't Care. A lot of good songs. But I think Late Registration is slightly better. Again, that might be controversial, I don't know. There's a lot of songs on Late Registration I do like. Hey Mama. I think Drive Slow is actually very underrated on that album. So you got Gold Digger. but I think Touch the Sky might be top 3 for just feel good songs. Like Touch the Sky comes on, I could be on the verge of suicide. That's cheering me right up. I don't care. And I think my favourite song on my favourite album this year also gives that effect. And you might already be able to work that out, but yeah, we'll just say that. 26, I have Heroes and Villains by Metro Boomin. Or as Pyrocynical called him, Metro's Booming. I'm tapped in. I'm white, but I'm not that white, and I also don't like furry inflation porn, so it's an extra point to me. But yeah, I think this album, I listened to the Across the Spider-Verse soundtrack last year, or when it came out, and I really liked that. It was very good. If anyone wondering my favourite song of that, probably Silk and Cologne, actually, even though I don't think Metro actually produced that one, but yeah, very good album, a lot of hits. I do like Trance, I do like, what's the one with Don Toliver? Too Many Nights, Superhero, See with Future. Don't know what my throat has just done then. I need to stop drinking Fanta. I've got 2 bottles there and still 2 bottles in the fridge. It's mental. But yeah, Feel the Fire I do like as a song. It's just chill and fun. It's like not really the vibe of the album, so it's a bonus track, but Rocky and Takeoff just do so well in there, and it's a really fun song. But now we're entering the top 25, so as you'll see, it'll go from favourite song to top 3 favourite songs. Starting off with number 25, a man we've already talked about. It is Travis Scott of Birds in the Trap, Sing McKnight. Yeah, I mean, out of his big 4 albums, so not counting like Days Before Rodeo, not counting like Jack Boys or Huncho Jack Huncho, I still need to listen to them last 2. Yeah, it's probably his weakest, but by no means does that mean it's bad. Like ignoring Vultures 2, Vultures 1, or like whichever one ignoring Vultures 2, whichever Kanye album you think is the worst. Just because it's the worst Kanye album doesn't mean it's a bad album. It's like the Lego Ninjago movie, but in reverse, because that was a good movie, but it wasn't a good Ninjago movie, because it had no relevance to the current plot whatsoever. They changed all the designs for some reason and all the voice actors, and then they changed the voice act. No, not the voice actors, but the design in the series to adapt to the movie in case there was new fans coming from the movie. I've just gone on a rant about the Ninjago movie, I don't know why, but yeah, the worst Kanye album, the worst Travis Scott album, doesn't mean it's a bad album. It's just their discographies are so good that, it has to be one in last place, and unfortunately it's this one. Some really good songs in there though, like Coordinate, there's one with Nav, I think. I think Pick Up the Phone's on this album as well. Obviously you got Goosebumps. Is Heist in the Room on this album? No, it will be. That'll be on Astroworld, won't it? Yeah. Pick Up the Phone. Yeah, Pick Up the Phone's literally right there. Through the Late Night, I do like SDP Interlude as well. But yes, I've listened to the extended version on YouTube. But way back, I like his flow on the first part. And then obviously the second part I immediately recognise from Lil Uzi's Prices from Eternal Take. So that's like, cool. Cool little ref. Obviously, it was probably, this was made 5 years before Eternal Take, so, Travis didn't reference Uzi, but, I've listened to the mashup on YouTube of both them songs, so, yeah. 25, Birds in the Trap, Sing McKnight. 24, Donda. I think the longest album I listened to this year. Yes. No, there's no way that's real. There's no way. Have I put that in wrong? I've got to have put that in. Yeah, what? I've put the Eternal Take 2 on. No, I've messed something up here. Yeah, I've damn it. Oh, no, I haven't. No, I haven't. fine. Yeah, we're fine, we're fine. I've messed with the filter on, yeah. Yeah, the second and third longest album I listened to this year haven't come up yet, but the fourth was We Still Whole Lot of Red, 24 songs. So yeah. Anyway, back to the video. Donda. Again, underrated. There's some cack in there. Like there's like you get. Obviously, songs can be good, but you don't need 12.5-minute long songs. Obviously, there's that one with Pop Smoke as well, where it sounds like it's been mixed on a microwave. There's the bit with the I Am the Globe Girl album, and it's just like, why is this on a Kanye album? And you have to hear that twice as well, because I listened to the deluxe. As you can see by Junior Part 2 being my third favourite song. I think that's a fun song. I watched, I can't remember who it was, it might have been Bob the Pop, listen to this. And he didn't really like Junior because it didn't fit the vibe of the album. It's like, yeah, fair enough, but honestly, I don't care. It's just a fun song. I just find myself like, I know this sounds like the whitest thing ever, but I find myself wanting to dance when this song comes on. It's like, alright, I'll kill myself. Well, yeah, Ty Dolla $ign as well in Part 2, that's why that's in there over Part 1. And then 24 and Come to Life are just some of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. You know, literally, there's a remix on YouTube called 24 by Kanye West, but it will change your life. And that first beat drop after the Sunday service choir, literally, it's heavenly. So yeah, but Donda, very good album. Obviously, you still got ones like Praise God. That's one with Baby Kim and Travis in. Life of the Party. I didn't really listen to him that much, but I listened to it back again the other day. I was like, okay, this song's actually really great. You know, it's got a lot of good songs on the album. Also, it's 32 songs on, so you're guaranteed to have some cack as well. It's 24, Donda. 23. Love Is Rage 2 Deluxe. Probably Uzi's most classic album. You think of Uzi, you think of this, you don't really think of Eternal Take Part 2. Yeah, it's just a very good album, isn't it? It's consistent all the way through. You see him top 3 songs there. XO2 Life, obviously, as well. You got Feelings Mutual, you know, you got Dark Queen. You know, there's so many good songs on this album. You know, there's my top 3. Is it my favourite Uzi album? No. There's another Uzi. No, actually, there isn't. My favourite Uzi album actually isn't on this list. It's Bear With Me. I forget what they're called because they're all quite confusing. The Eternal Take Deluxe, Lil Uzi Vert vs. the World 2. That's my favourite Uzi album. Not with like all the rest of Eternal Take on it, but those 14 deluxe songs, for some reason, is my favourite Uzi album. You got Myron, you got Lotus, you got Bean, Yes Sirski, What's Up, Strawberry Peels, Moon Relate, probably my favourite song off that album. You got Lotus. Yeah. But I listened to that last year, so it's not on the list. You know, that list, you're not getting in, but yeah, I listened to that last year, so it's not on the list, but this might be my favourite Uzi album on the list. I want to say. Yeah. Which is a bit mental considering it's that low and Uzi's one of my favourite artists, but yeah, still a very good album. Yeah, move on. Number 22, this is the second longest album I'm listening to this year. Actually, the last album as well, but you can't guess it. It's Scarlet 2 Claude by Doja Cat. I really like Doja Cat. Like in a music sense, you know, she's very good to listen to, very fun. And I think the music's quite good, you know. And this album was just fun to listen to. She's very good at making music, I guess. Don't know really how else to put it. And top 3 songs there. See, 13th of December. It was the last time I listened to an album last year. Yeah, I had what is that? I had 18 days listening to another 25 albums. I thought I was making it. But yeah, Doja Cat, Scarlet 2, Claude, 22nd place. 21st, we have 2 more Critter albums. In 21st place is Yeah I Think, which is, I think, technically her first proper album. I think the others were EPs, but I'm not too arsed. They count as albums for me because they're easy to listen to because they're like 5 songs long. Yeah I Think by Critter, 2024 release. Just lots of very good songs on there. Dolce & Gabbana, Sketch, Now I Really Know. Very good songs on there. And in 20th place, my favourite Critter album, Underdog Tale, which, I don't know, I don't think, I've never actually seen any Critter fans, because, I see she's not the most popular, but, like, she does have a following, good following, but, like, I've not really seen them anywhere, but it might be controversial that this is my favourite album of her. And it might be controversial that my favourite song from my favourite album of it is an interlude. But, yeah, there's a lot of songs that I kept on coming back to on this, Paper Route as well. Very good album. I do recommend listening to Critter. So, there we go. 20th place, my favourite Critter album, Underdog Tale. 19th place, an underrated Kanye album, I think, Jesus Is King. I genuinely think this is underrated. I went into it expecting proper blooming like Christian choir like stuff that you'd hear at church, but you sort of just mix that with Kanye, and it made for a very good album. As you can see there, my 3 favourite songs all contain the word God. It's like Everything We Need. There's a lot of good songs on that. Closed on Sunday as well. Actually an underrated album, I think. 18th place, we have my second Tyler the Creator album, which may be controversial. It's Flower Boy. Flower's like first proper album away from like all the horrorcore, I think they call it, stuff. Very good. I think probably his second best storytelling album as well. I think Chromacopia is his first, which obviously yet to come up. I think Chromacopia is his best storytelling album. You see, Tyler the Creator's up there with one of the best at like world building with his albums and creating characters and storytelling. So, yeah. Flower Boy 18th. I really liked it as an album. November there is my favourite song. See You Again in 3rd there. A couple of underrated tracks on there in my top 3. 18th, Flower Boy. Then 17th, another Tyler the Creator album. And it's called Me If You Get Lost, The Estate Sale. So Chromacopia is my favourite album from him. Although this might actually have eclipsed it, to be honest. I think this is very underrated as an album as well. You see, top 3 songs there, all very good. What's Your Name is good as well. A lot of good tracks on there. Again, I listened to this one as well, I think, while walking along like the side of the river, and it just hit, it just hit right. Call Me If You Get Lost, The Estate Sale, 17th place. 16th, another Kanye album. Can you tell I listened to every Kanye album this year? You can, because they're all very good. So most of them are in the top 25. 16th place, another Kanye album I think is overrated. And do you understand how good you have to be overrated and still 16th place out of 75? It's the Life of Pablo. Again, I've had to censor down there, but don't really find myself coming back to half of these songs. But the songs I do find myself coming back to, absolutely phenomenal. I think since I've listened to this album, St. Pablo has been my favourite song, full stop. It's since that 1st of April, St. Pablo has been my favourite song over those last... It's been 10 months now, oh my god, almost. But yeah, St. Pablo, absolutely phenomenal song. Sampha's chorus, it's just, again, it's heavenly, it blesses my ears. The bit where he goes in the background, Father, 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 it just makes my ears come. Sorry, I don't know why I said that, but yeah. 16 players to Life of Pablo. No More Parties in LA, unlucky to miss out there. Waves, I think, is good as well. You got Wolves on there. I can't actually name Hwang Hee Chan, Ryan Ait Nouri, some Wolves there. 15th place, getting into the top 15. one of two collaborations between Future and Metro Boomin this year, and I think the slightly worse of the two, and Shori from #House agreed with me. We Don't Trust You. I think We Still Don't Trust You is better as an album. But see this? I'd argue top 3 most iconic rap albums of the year. Up there with Chromacopia and probably GNX. Obviously this sort of... It didn't ignite the match, but it threw the match onto the fire, if you get what I mean. The match had been getting ignited for a while, but that threw the match onto the fire. Obviously with Like That. But I prefer Type Shit to Like That. I don't know about you. When I first heard them Like That, I was like, holy shit, this is good. And I heard Kendrick and went online, and obviously the whole discourse started and the beef, but yeah, very good album. But I think We Still Don't Trust You slightly better. Them first 2 songs, like proper just like club dance tracks, and for some reason I've really liked that. Like, I think in We Still Don't Trust You, the first song in the album, I think about 5 lines aren't the title of the song, and it's still very good. Cover's slightly worse, isn't it? Let's be real. That's just like you had people going to Future and Metro Boomin for Halloween. That's how iconic this album was. But yeah, I think this one's slightly better. There's only 4 albums between them, to be fair. They dropped 2 weeks apart, so you know. I remember literally halfway through listening to the album, looking at my phone. Oh, it's there's another one coming out. Yeah. 14th, We Still Don't Trust You. 13th place. A man who hasn't featured yet. I think I've talked about him, but I haven't talked about him for a while. He hasn't featured yet. The Forever Story by G.I.D. Yeah, very good album, isn't it? G.I.D.'s a very good rapper. Obviously Cody Blue 31 I think is considered the best on the album, and I agree. But Just in Time and Money are very good as well. I'm surprised I don't see more people talking about Money. That's a very good song. You got obviously a lot more songs in the album that are very good. Brother M, trying to think here. Radar, you know. That's a lot of very good songs, and you can tell G.I.D. is a very talented artist. Again, another album which I will say, if you haven't heard, do go check it out. Because I might not say that for all of them, I'll just say for the ones that I think deserve people to check them out if they haven't already. It's 13th, The Forever Story, G.I.D. 12th, an album I have just mentioned. And again, might be controversial. It's GNX by Kendrick Lamar. Don't worry, there is still 2 Kendrick Lamar albums to cover. I know I said I ain't listened to Good Kid, Mad City, so make of that what you will. GNX. I remember when this dropped, and I was sat here on Twitter. I was like, hang on, surely Kendrick's not just dropped out and announced anything, just like some random ass evening. I was like, oh my god, he has. And yeah, obviously, when I heard Squabble Up as well, I was like, it's the beat from the Not Like Us music video. Yeah, very good album. I don't think will be remembered as highly as something like Damn or Good Kid, Mad City. But still, it's just very good music, isn't it? That's the thing, you know. Yeah, 12th, Kendrick Lamar, GNX. 11th, Damn, Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, very good album, isn't it? I remember seeing a post about like how every Kendrick album's a different sort of form of media. Obviously, Damn is a magazine because you've got the big red capital title, and every song is written. The title of every song is written like that title. You know, it's headlines. Like Mr. Morale's a play, I think, because you got like the tap dancing and stuff, and I think one of them's like a newspaper, the other one's like a TV show or something like that. You know, they're all like different forms of media, and yeah, this one's very good, isn't it? Maybe I'm just not the biggest fan of older rap. Maybe I think older rap. This is like, I'm not about this album. I'm about like older Kanye albums, older Lil Wayne albums, all the Kendrick albums, you know. Pardon me. To be fair, I did have Carter 3 higher than Carter 5. But maybe I just prefer more modern music, you know. Music peaked like 2018. I was going to say that, you know. But, yeah. 11th place, Damn, Kendrick Lamar. 10th place, breaking into the top 10 now, so I'll show you my top 5 songs from each album. 10th place, Astroworld by Travis Scott. Can I shock you? Utopia's better. That might be controversial. But yeah, Utopia is better than Astroworld. You can see there. I think this was the album I had the hardest time picking the top 5 for, because it's just very consistent, isn't it? Very consistently good album. See, the third one I listened to of the year, so as you can see, I think it was the third one I listened to of the year, first one I listened to of the year that wasn't like dropped that day. I think the first one I talked about, He Who Shall Not Be Named, I listened to that like a week after it dropped or something. Like, I'd been meaning to listen to it. And then I've seen Lyrical Lemonade one I listened to when it dropped. But this was the first one I went out and chose to listen to. So I do not regret it. Songs like Skeleton, Stargazing, you know, Coffee Beans. Very good album, isn't it? It's very good songs, and you can tell Travis Scott was doing well when he did it. But I just think Utopia, you know, you can tell Travis Scott had a vision with that, and he had a world he wanted to build and convey, and I think just the music's better on Utopia as well. I do think it trails off towards the end. Like, I don't think anyone's going back like that West Side Gun song or Utopia Twins, but you know, I think Utopia's better, but still Astroworld. You can't not be top 10, you know. Anyway, in 9th place, I have. Somehow I see this album getting hate, and I genuinely do not understand that. I think this album is absolutely phenomenal, hence why it's in my top 10 at 9th place. It's 808s and Heartbreak by Kanye West. So you might be able to work it out. We've got 4 Kanye albums left in the top 8. Half of the top 8 Kanye. But yeah, this album, I see you in my nightmares getting hit as well as the worst song of the album. Do you hear Lil Wayne? Do you hear? People don't listen to Lil Wayne enough, man. You're playing Lil Wayne too loud. But no, yeah, this album genuinely phenomenal. See, I never get the timeline right of when Donda died, but it was before this album, wasn't it? Because in my head it made sense that she died before Donda the album, which is why Kanye named the album after her. But she died before this album, so hence why it's 808s and Heartbreak. And I think his girlfriend at the time left him as well. And hence why he made an album all about heartbreak. But some of these songs, like Heartless, is one of the best songs of all time. Full stop. You know, Love Lockdown is great. Streetlights, Coldest Winter. You know, Pinocchio Story as well. I watched Bob the Pop Pop's reaction to that, and I understood it far more. Because again, I listened to this album over 10 months ago. You know, it's not really fresh in my mind, but yeah, it's just absolutely phenomenal music. I've seen interviews with Kanye as well. He genuinely is a very intelligent man. He has just been ruined by some things he decided to say at one time, and to be fair, you can't really be a genius without being a little doom-alley, you know what I mean? Anyway, 8th place. It's my favourite Kendrick Lamar album. That might be controversial, but I did really enjoy it. And can I shock you? All 5 songs there, top 5, I'd listened to before I listened to the album. Yeah, it's just had it's had a lot of meaning, and just I don't even know what to say. It was just a phenomenal album with a great message and great meaning and great music and great production, great rapping. You know, it's all just great, isn't it? I do think I'm yet to listen to like Good Kid, Mad City, Section 80, Untitled, Unmastered, but this probably will remain my favourite Kendrick Lamar album. So there you go, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, number 8. Number 7, my second favourite album that released this year. It's Chromacopia, ladies and gentlemen. The album that I'm going to see him in person for. yeah, it was. I remember listening to that because one of my best mates that I live with is a very big Tyler fan as well. And I think I'd got up earlier that day for a maths lesson that wasn't on. It was going to be online, but it wasn't on, so I was already listening to the album. And my mate got up and I was like, "Are you listening to this?" And I look on AirPods and he's like 2 songs behind me listening to it. Yeah, it was just. He had a car as well at the time. We were just going to like Tim Hortons and just bumping this album. It was just a great time when this album released as well. And then Lil Uzi Vert dropped like 4 days later, the worst album of the year. What a week! What a week! Tyler the Creator drops on a Monday, one of the best albums of the year. Lil Uzi Vert drops on the Friday, worst album of the year. I remember I was coming home from a Halloween party that I didn't really enjoy that day, and I'm like, oh, it was like 2:30 in the morning. It was like, oh, I'm gonna stay up for another 2 hours and listen to the Uzi album. I'm so glad I didn't. I went to sleep, woke up, and listened to the Uzi album. I was like, I would have gone back to bed. Anyway, here to talk about Tyler, not Uzi. Phenomenal album, phenomenal message. You know, his most personal album, I think, ahead of Flower Boy. Yeah, great songs as well. You can see there, Darling I, my favourite. I think might swap St. Chroma and Thought I Was Dead around. I do like St. Chroma, especially as an intro. You see Sticky, great song. You know, I saw someone say it does give the vibe like everyone freestyling around on lunch table with all like the bangs like banging your cutlery and stuff. I've never seen Like Him as well, probably the pinnacle of the album, you know, where he gets to talking about what he wants to talk about, you know, and it's a very emotional song actually. Like you find yourself listening to the good music, then you deep lyrics and you're just like, damn. No. Yeah, great album. But next up, my favourite album that released this year might shock you. It's Heartstone Psycho by Don Toliver. I genuinely love this album. I listened to it the day before I packed for moving home from uni. So it was I was in student accommodation and I was packing everything up, ready to go home the next day. It was the day as well when the Euros started last summer, obviously. I went to a pub in Scotland to watch Scotland get battered by Germany. It was 3-0 at half time, and I thought, as an Englishman, I'm going to leave before people discover my secret. I went home, packed my stuff, listened to this album I'll do so, and I thought, this is really good. And it is, I think, genuinely, it's so consistent. I don't think there's a single song that I'd say on there I don't come back to, genuinely. You see on my top 5 there, Brother Stone, I think Kodak genuinely killed it on that song. Tore Up, obviously everyone knows. I think yesterday I saw a TikTok of some guys absolutely just jamming out to Tore Up at his work, and it's like, yeah, fair enough. Kryptonite 4x4, you know. Genuinely just a great album. Again, another one I will say, if you haven't checked it out already, check it out. It's genuinely phenomenal. Just the whole vibe of it is all just like a biker gang, like, just not sort of metal, but like, yeah, metal, because I'm not saying rock, but metal, you know, it's like hardcore and stuff. It's like, it's just cool and very good. Anyway, top 5. You see, I said there's 4 Kanye songs, 4 Kanye albums left, and I'll say one Travis Scott album. So get down a pen and paper or notepad on your phone. Put what albums you think I'm gonna put and in what order. I'll give you a few seconds, you know, while I look at the spreadsheet there on my other monitor. I will say the albums we have left, the amount of songs they have, are 16, 7, 14, 13 and 7. So 2 7-song albums there, and then a few more songs. And have you got that written down? If not, pause, because we're going to move on. One of the 7-song albums is coming up next. It's Kids See Ghosts, and at number 5. It's just great music, isn't it? It's easier to be good when you've got fewer songs on the album, because obviously there's less to like trip you up. But yeah, I think, to be fair, I only come back to the top 4. Those are the only songs I'll come back to, but it's just so good. And Kanye and Kid Cudi just work so well together in the album. Sorry, my nose is getting a bit stuffy. Yeah, even the cover art's just phenomenal, isn't it? Holy shit, what happened there? Yeah, I'll say I come back to the top 4, but them top 2 were just unreal. Reborn as well, you just feel like sitting back and just floating in the air, don't you? What's happening when I'm talking too much? We need to get this video finished with. Yeah, 5th place, Kids See Ghosts. Great album, isn't it? Really. In 4th place, the other 7-song album, Yeah. So, yeah, my top 3, 2 Kanye albums, a Travis Scott album. Rejig that list if you need to. Yeah, originally I had Kids See Ghosts above this, but I think Yeah's slightly better. Because, for example, I come back to the top 5 there. What are the other 2? I thought about Killing You, which I don't really come back to because the first half of it's sort of an interlude. What's the other song on the album? Wouldn't Leave. Yeah, I don't really come back to that one, but yeah, that top 5 genuinely. Ghost Town and Violent Crimes are just some of his best songs, you know. And, you know, this was early as well. We listened to both of them on the same day in February, so, you know, they've held up well in my mind. But yeah, we're going to get into the top 3 soon. Obviously, as I said, for the top 3, I'm going to be ranking every song on this album, on these albums, sorry. So, yeah. The big top 3. In 3rd place, it's the Travis Scott album. It's Rodeo, ladies and gentlemen. His best album, I will say. It's just great, isn't it? In terms of songs that I find myself coming back to and have in rotation, I'd say the top 11 there. The bottom 5 I don't really come back to, but the top 11 I do. And especially the top 4. Top 5 actually, I'll say top 5. Originally, I'll tell you something. When making this PowerPoint, this is a PowerPoint, that's all this is. When making this PowerPoint, I had All My Decide as my top song, 90210 in second. But I just felt like that was doing 90210 a bit of a disservice. But yeah, All My Decide, genuinely so underrated. Especially that first bit. Like, the flows, just vocals. It's just great. You know, Apple Pie, very underrated outro. It was meant to be an outro, wasn't it? Nightcrawler, as much as it get memed on TikTok, the Audemars Bottle song, it's good, isn't it? And Chief keeps saying I walked up in the gun store, ordered me some guns. Marie I'm Junk is great, Justin Bieber kills it on that. Pornography, great intro to the album. 3500, 2 Chainz and Future killed it on there. And yeah, the top 7 probably, like, I'd say 10 out of 10 songs. Maybe 9 out of 10. But yeah, top 7, 10 out of 10 songs. Yeah. So, you've probably worked it out by now. 2 albums left. 2 Kanye albums. I said I've listened to every Kanye album this year. So, the 2 I have left are My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy and Graduation. So, again, which of them do you think will be next and which will be in first place? I'll give you 5 seconds to decide. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move on to my second best album of the year. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. So yeah, I have Graduation first, but we're talking about this first. It's just great music, isn't it? Genuinely. One of the most iconic album covers of all time. Wow. I find myself coming back to the top 8 there, I'd say. Do I? The only song that I don't think I would come back to is obviously Who Will Survive in America, because again that is sort of an interlude. But yeah, the top 5 there are all some of the most iconic rap songs of all time, and Hell of a Life as well. Obviously, it's the carnival song, but yeah, I really like that as a song. Gorgeous is great. So Appalled and Monster I find a slight bit samey. I should have put Lost in the World above Blame Game, I think. But yeah, All of the Lights, in my opinion, is my favourite. Is the best song on this list. It's better than any. It's better than any song in Graduation. All of the Lights, in my opinion, is the best song on this list. The best song Kanye has made. Best song, better than anyone else has made on this list. Yeah, the amount of people on it as well. So you've got Kanye, you've got Rihanna, you've got Drake, you've got Keisha, you've got Kid Cudi, you've got Elton John. Why? There's more, I think, as well. More people on that song. But yeah, Dark Fantasy as well. What a way to open the album. Runaway. Should have put that up with Dark Fantasy. Runaway is probably more iconic than All of the Lights, definitely. Runaway is probably the most iconic song on this list. But I think All of the Lights is better. Devil in a New Dress as well is just a Kanye cult classic, I think is the way to call it. Slightly overrated. But it's still a 10 out of 10 song, isn't it? Power, everyone's heard that song. You know, you get it on the aftershave adverts, don't you? Yeah. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy in second. And we'll talk about it now. Graduation in first. Yeah. Yeah. What an album. You know, genuinely. I think this is my favourite album, you know. I prefer this to like anything X has made, anything Juice has made. Although you can't really see, but that does come close. Death Race for Love. But yeah, I think this is my favourite album ever made. I'm so glad Joe put me on to Kanye this year. Oh my god, he was my top artist on Spotify Wrapped, obviously. Yeah, Good Life is that other song. I said when I mentioned Touch the Sky, you know, about him, it just instantly just making you happy. Just such a feel good song. Homecoming as well, I really like the song. I always send my mum the lyrics to that whenever I'm going home from uni, which I'm in a couple of weeks actually. So I might do that again. The only songs I don't come back to are the bottom two. I'll say this about the album. Barry Bonds and Drunken Hot Girls are not bad songs. Genuinely, I think. I said I don't really come back to the bottom two. The rest of the songs are 10 out of 10, genuinely. I will say I think I Wonder is a bit overrated. Because for the first verse, I don't really like Kanye's stagnated sort of flow. Like, you've been waiting on this your whole life. Not the biggest fan of that flow. That's why that's knocked down a bit. But I think the sample's just too iconic to have it any lower. You see Flashing Lights is iconic. Stronger, everyone's heard. Barry Bonds and Drunk Hot Girls genuinely aren't bad. Lil Wayne killed it on Barry Bonds, and Drunk Hot Girls is just fun to listen to. Especially That's How the FU Sound bar. I really like that. Champion's good. Everything I'm is good. The Glory's good. Yeah. Just a phenomenal album. I'm just going to check real quick whether I actually had anything else on the PowerPoint. No, that's it. So, yeah, that is it for this video. Really appreciate you sticking with me and watching this. If you made it to the end, tell me how many the predictions you got right in the video, but also let me know your thoughts on anything I said in this video, you know, whether you think an album's overrated, whether you think an album's underrated, whether you agree with me on some of my takes, whether you have any more albums for me to listen to. But yeah, that is it for quite a long video. If you guys did enjoy it, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.